have had visions of being there. Remember one man, he said, it was as if I walked across a field. I entered into an ever-deepening valley, and I found myself standing, he said, on the banks of hell. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I know what happened to me. There is 2 times in my life that I've seen hell. One time was when I was 13 years old. My mother was unsaved. I was allowed to dream a dream one night about my mother in hell. I saw her there. I saw her long hair streaming back in the fire. I saw her large brown hands lifted up to me, and I heard her pleading voice calling my name and asking for help. I can promise you that there was no more rest for me that night. My mother was brought to church that week, and she gave her heart to God on a Friday night, and on Sunday night she was on her deathbed. My mother came within 36 hours of hell, and God allowed me to see it. I know that there is a hell because I saw it that night, and I saw it being vindicated with my mother's death following up just a few hours later from the time that I, in my dream, observed her there. And then one morning, we were at breakfast table. I had 2 children at that time, and my daughter was sitting immediately to my left. Terry was just in the high chair. He was down at my wife's left at the other end of the table. And we were eating. We were talking. And I don't know how the conversation came around, but it came to eternity. And Datha asked me about hell, something about hell. And as we sat and talked and ate, I started to tell her something about eternity. And as I talked, suddenly I was not there anymore. My family was not there. I was standing on a ledge, and there was another cliff that rose sheer behind me. And at my feet there dropped off a steep precipice, and I was standing on the edge of hell. The fire was pouring up from some tremendous source underneath. And in that fire, there was just tremendous black dots and such noise and screaming and such a flow and thunder of noise and voices I had never heard before. And I observed that the black dots that I saw falling down through the flames which were pouring up were people. They were pouring in from some place up above me, and pouring in as you would pour buckets of corn or peas into a tub or something, and they were falling into that place. And I observed them, and then I was back at the table. I didn't have any heart for breakfast. As soon as possible, I left. I went to the prayer room. I spent a good time that day in the prayer room. Do you know your conveyance, how that you'll get there your first night in hell? Because I am talking tonight to somebody here who is going to hell. How will you get there? Your conveyance. Well, the Bible tells me that, let's let the Bible talk. The Bible tells us about a man that went to hell. And Lazarus, the angels came and got him, and took him up and away and bore him to heaven. And the Bible says that the other man lifted his eyes in hell, and he was there. I don't know exactly how he got there, whether the earth crumbled out from beneath him and so on. But I have something from the Bible to bring to you tonight. You can read it in the 22nd chapter of Matthew. And if I do not speak from the Bible tonight, don't listen to me. But if I speak from the Bible, you'd better hear it, because your eternal destiny depends upon it. And so in the 22nd chapter of Matthew, Jesus tells us that the Master finally at the end of the world comes, and he finds a man at the wedding feast that does not have a wedding garment. And he said to him, "Friend, how camest thou in hither without a wedding garment?" And the Bible tells us that the man was speechless. The verdict that came to this man was, "Bind this man hand and foot and cast him into outer darkness, and there shall be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth." As if a strong angel took him, and helpless he brought him and flung him from one place and flew and cascaded him into another place. He flung him from one place into years old, I did not know how to swim. I went swimming with my brother-in-law and with his brothers. Low, big bend in the creek. I was anxious to get into the water, but I could not swim. So there was a